Finally, welcome to the first ever episode of Learning MarTech, this series. And with me today is Samuel Schmitt from One Inside to talk about chatbots and AI.
Yeah, hello everybody.
First of all, thank you, Samuel, for wanting to come on the show with me today. It's an absolute honor to have you here as my first guest. And to kick it off, we're going to talk about chatbots and AI. But first, Samuel, why don't you start with an introduction of yourself?
Thank you, Morten. And I'm really happy to be here today with you for your first series about marketing technology. So a bit about myself. I'm in the marketing technology landscape or space for the last 15 years. I was working for a CMS vendor. I was project manager. I help different companies with digitalization. And now I'm working for a Swiss company called One Inside. We are Adobe partner, and we are implementing a large website and project for several customers in Switzerland based on Adobe technology. And as well, we offer chatbot solution, and that's why I'm here today to tell you a bit more what it's all about.
Cool. I guess most people are quite used to see a chatbot or chat functionality available when they visit a website. Personally, I've noticed that there seem to be some varieties in how they operate and work. Are there many different solutions on the market?
Yes, I mean, so everybody knows this little box at the bottom of a website. You click on it, you have a message, and then you can ask something. This is a chatbot. The definition is like an interface between a human, like you and me, and a robot. Mm-hmm. This is a chatbot, right?
Yeah.
But of course, there are different kinds of chatbots. We can classify them in, let's say, two main categories. The rule-based chatbot and the AI chatbot. We can also speak about the live chat, but it's not a chatbot because it's human to human, so there is no bot involved. But still, they're quite used. I think more than 50% of websites using chatbots use a live chat. But anyway, today we can focus more on the chatbots, so on the rule-based and on the AI. So I would like to give you some differences. So rule-based is this chat where you have to create rules. So you have to create a decision tree, and you define like a kind of if-else logic. So you offer to your user or to your customer or to the visitor of your site several options, and based on this on his choice, you will go down to the tree, and you try to direct him to a page, or usually you try to capture his email address, right? Mm-hmm. AI chatbots are a bit different because you don't have to build this kind of if-else tree. Basically, they use natural language processing. So they understand your natural language, meaning that when you type something, the chat can understand the context of your questions, and then it redirects you to an answer. The answer, of course, is built by the marketing team. So they have to set a different set of answer. But the mapping between the questions and the answer is done by the machine learning model of the AI bot. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But when does that mean that a rule-based chatbot is not able to recognize text or questions at all? Is it just pre-answered?
Well, usually they offer pre-answer options. So. And it's more limited because there is not this artificial intelligence component built inside rule-based. So basically, yes. And also, I'm pretty sure you already use that. I mean, often the rule-based, what they try to do is a kind of pre-qualification. They try to understand who you are, what you want to do, and then they try to redirect you to an operator, who could be a real person, a salespeople usually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard this term of chatbot trainer. What's that exactly?
Yes. So the idea of the AI chatbot need to be trained, right? So you have to feed them with some data, basically some questions, some sentence. Like, let's say if you want to build a chatbot for your insurance company, let's say, or Morten, you want to start your own insurance company.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe.
Why not? Why not? And then you have different products that you can offer, like insurance, health insurance, different kind of insurance, car insurance, right? And then you have to build different kind of data sets related to this different topic. So basically, you will have like for car insurance, you can have a cluster of terms related to this topic, and you feed the bot with that. So then the bot will understand when you come on the website and ask, for instance, give me some information about car insurance, or what are the car insurance policies, or what different car insurance do you have? It will understand that all these kind of questions belong to the same context and to the same intent. And behind that, the marketing team will have to set up the answer and redirect the user to the right either page or form on the website.
Yeah. Okay. I also heard this other expression that that a chatbot was fully trained for this market or this market. What does that actually mean? Is it kind of pre-trained by somebody, and doesn't it need any more training?
No.
Or?
I mean, this is often the confusion. I mean, people think that AI chatbots, you install it or you develop it and then you just leave it like this and it's working by himself forever. This is not true. I mean, not really. I mean,
yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense, right? You have to in the backend. I mean, you as a marketing, because usually it's marketing people who manage that tool. I mean, it's, as I said, it's pre-trained. So you train them with, as I said, this kind of example sentence that you would like to cover. But over time, so when somebody is coming on your website, you can ask a new question. And maybe this question will end up in, let's say, in a fallback, because you don't know yet where to map it, where to map the answer. So behind the scene, the marketing guy should collect all these unanswered questions and assign them to a different intent or to different intention. And then again, so basically it's feeding the AI bot with new knowledge.
So what would you say to someone that consider getting a chatbot for their website?
Yes,
what should they go for?
So there, as I said, there is basically these two kind. The rule-based is maybe the most popular after the live chat, and there is a lot of software as a service offering that. The most famous one is Drift, I think, maybe. And so again, it's what is your goal? What are your use cases? What you would like to achieve as a company? If you have simple use case, like, I don't know, if you just want to collect leads, so you just want to collect email information, maybe rule-based is enough, because you can start with a simple if-else model, like, what is your name, blah, blah. You enter your name, or Morten, what is your age, what you prefer, I don't know, like insurance for car or insurance for your house, and then at the end, you ask, give me your email, and you come back to you. You know, so if you have a simple use case, maybe you can go for rule-based. But if you think that you might have something more complex, and also that you want to build more rules, or more, if you want to deliver more answer to your customer, maybe it's better to go for the AI, because AI, you don't have really, this is really important to understand. With AI, you don't have to configure this if else. So it's learning by itself. It's learning over time. So basically it's based on your goal. If at the end of the day, you have a lot of different scenario that you would like to fulfill, I would rather go for AI.
So in kind of correlates with maybe also the size of the website, the size of the company, how many resources you have to, train the bot over time, follow up and stuff like that.
I mean, we could say, but I don't want to. I want to. We could say that maybe AI bot is more for enterprise, and rule-based is more for small businesses and startups, because usually they have less resources, of course, and to maintain a bot, and as well they have less use cases. What they want is just to get your email information. But they're not here maybe to guide you through the website. They're not here to give you information about different services. So yes.
Yeah, but I get it. It's not actually about the size of the company, but what you're seeking to accomplish.
Exactly. Exactly.
So a big company can have small use cases, and
yes,
a small company can have big use cases.
Yeah, exactly, okay. Exactly. But it's more the case that enterprise have many use cases. It's just more normal.
Yeah.
Because also keep in mind that, and this is so often like a trap where a company can end, is that they start with a rule base because they think that, okay, yeah, it worked for us now. But then they want to add more scenario over time. And then in fact, they have to create for every new scenario, a new rule-based chatbot. So basically they have to maintain a lot of tree. You know what I mean? I mean, like if else, if else. So it's a lot of work behind the scenes. They have to manage all these things. And so yes, scalability is not really great with rule-based.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that if it's correct that AI chatbot is more scalable than the rule-based one, but you obviously just said that.
I just answered that.
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean,
yeah. But one thing, AI stands for artificial intelligence. But could you briefly explain how AI works and how it's used in chatbots? If there's something that I kind of missed now.
Yeah, so basically what is key, AI is a broad term, right? There is many topics into AI, but related to chatbot is what we call natural language processing. NLP. You can Google that if you like. NLP. This is really
we'll do that.
Yeah, you will do that later, and everybody will do that, of course. So NLP is basically is understand natural language, and this is the core AI components used by AI chatbot. So what it means is that you can speak your own language, and the bot will understand you. And then, so basically, this is where the AI take place for in an AI chatbot. You as a user or of the chat, as a client, as a visitor, you ask a question. Then the NLP, let's say, components try to understand what you said, and behind the scene, it's mapped with an answer. So this kind of NLP processing is what replaces the tree view of rule-based.
But when you said there's many AI chatbot vendors out there, what is if this is kind of a basic language that all the AI chatbots use? What is separating them? What's their uniqueness? Or is the different chatbots all the same, basically?
I mean, this is a good question because, in fact, usually rule-based are coming, let's say, out of the box. Rule-based is a software as a service. You subscribe, and then you can use their tool, and you have a backend to configure your different rules, and you integrate that in your website, and you have visually the same interface. You can you recognize usually different websites have the same chat interface. AI bot is a bit different. There is not like a out of the box tool doing AI chatbot, but there is framework that we leverage. So there is framework doing this natural language processing, and we leverage them to build a dedicated chatbot for our customer. And then what is make unique is basically the work on top of it. So the look and feel is unique because it can be easily integrated in your website corporate identity. Usually, if you go for Drift, I mean, the limitation, let's say the customization is quite limited. You can change the color, you can change a bit where you want to put the chatbot. But if you want really to have an immersive experience, when people go on your site and they see the chatbot more as an integrated component, with AI chatbot, you can do it because you build it. Also, integration with third-party services is quite key. It's more, let's say, because you build on the top of this framework, you can as well connect other sources from your company. So, for instance, if you can plug a marketing automation, you can plug your CRM, so you can get information about your customer. And so when you start a conversation with him, maybe you can as well personalize already the experience.
Oh, yes, so you can get a lot of insight from the AI.
Yes, exactly. And but also it's the whole solution that is integrated with other components from your digital ecosystem. But yes, so there is different. I mean, that's why there is not one AI chatbot solution. It's more like you build on top of framework, and this is what we do at One Insight, basically.
I like the sound of that, but as a MarTech enthusiast, yeah, I would.
Yeah,
we like that. So I'm thinking this was a really good explanation for me, at least, about the difference between the different chatbots and everything. But if our viewers would like to learn more about chatbots, you, Samuel, are actually hosting a webinar.
Yes, exactly. We are hosting a webinar this week on the 17th of September 2020. And cool. If you watch this video after that, there will be a recording. So just come back to me, where we will in fact explain in detail what is AI chatbot, and also we build a solution that is already used for a large insurance company in Switzerland, and we will showcase this solution. I mean, we will really show the tool, so it will be clearer for people to understand, because there is different terms that you have to understand, like entity, user intent, training data. All these kind of different terms related to AI chatbot will be explained in detail during this webinar. And that's why we will go through all the benefits for a company, for a large enterprise. And if you let me just one more thing, I mean, one more benefit that I think is really key as well, because we spoke about scalability, but there is one thing, I mean, that for me is even the best, is you learn from your customer more than with rule-based. Why? Because rule-based is predictive. You don't really leave the option to your customer to ask a lot of questions, because you often guide them in a predefined path.
Yeah.
As with the AI chatbot, you have total freedom. So you or Morten, you can ask anything. And then behind the scene, they can see what are the questions from the customer. They can see if there is something new coming, if there is a trend in the questions. And then they can even use that to create new content for their website based on the questions. Or they can even redirect some of the questions to the product management team to build maybe a better product or better services, So I think this is what is key, the conversation analytics. So you understand and you analyze what your customer wants.
Thank you. I think that was all for this first episode, actually. First ever episode of Learning MarTech. And I would like to thank you, Samuel, for coming to the show. It was a real pleasure to have you here. Hopefully you'll come back again with another great topic. I would like to have you on, of course. So thank you, everybody. And thanks for now. See you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.